Every great transformation in life begins with isolation. It begins when the noise fades, when the applause stops, and when no one is left to cheer you on. That's when you meet yourself face to face. Loneliness is not a curse, it's a classroom. It's the place where God strips away the opinions, the distractions, and the comfort that once kept you ordinary. Most people run from it. They chase company to avoid silence. They fill their days with noise so they never have to hear the sound of their own calling. But those who dare to stay in that lonely place, those who refuse to escape it, emerge different. They come out sharper, focused, and unshakable. Loneliness is a divine classroom where true transformation begins. It is not the punishment people think it is the process that builds depth, focus, and identity. When everything gets quiet and you find yourself alone, that is not the absence of progress, it is the birth of purpose. Most people misunderstand loneliness. They treat it like an enemy to be avoided instead of a teacher to be embraced. But the truth is, no one ever discovers who they truly are in the crowd. You only find your real strength, your real convictions, and your real assignment when you are separated from the noise. Loneliness forces you to confront the parts of yourself you've been running from. It removes the distractions that kept you average and demands that you listen to your own soul. It is in those quiet moments that the voice of destiny becomes clear, the whispers of divine direction begin to rise, and you start to see yourself not as the world defined you, but as you were created to be. In that space, the things that once held importance start to lose their value. You begin to realize that applause doesn't define purpose and validation doesn't equal worth. Loneliness strips away false identities. It shows you what remains when everything temporary is gone. It is the furnace that reveals your foundation, exposing whether you are built on popularity or principles. And when you remain long enough in that solitude, something shifts inside you. You begin to find clarity about your life, your goals, and your mission. You begin to think differently, speak differently, and move differently because you are no longer trying to please the world, you are trying to fulfill your purpose. Every great person has walked through seasons of isolation. Before elevation comes separation. Before revelation comes solitude. It's the pattern of greatness, being pulled away, refined, and redefined in private before being revealed in public. Loneliness is that private workshop where vision is developed, discipline is refined, and endurance is born. You may not see the results immediately, but every silent night, every moment of discomfort, every tear shed in private is preparing you for something bigger. The pain of loneliness is the proof that transformation is happening. It's uncomfortable because you're shedding the old to make room for the new. When you stop fighting the silence and start embracing it, you begin to grow in ways you never imagined. You start to appreciate the stillness because it allows you to hear clearly, to think deeply, and to move intentionally. The more you stay in that classroom of loneliness, the more wisdom you gain about who you are and what you're capable of. It is in that solitude that resilience is built, confidence is restored, and faith is strengthened. The world teaches you to fear being alone, but divine wisdom teaches that isolation is not abandonment, it is preparation. It is the place where true transformation begins. Suffering purifies and strengthens the spirit for greater purpose. Every trial, every painful experience, and every sleepless night carries within it a hidden assignment, to refine you into the person capable of carrying the greatness you were created for. Most people pray for strength but resist the process that builds it. They want the crown without the cross, the reward without the refining. But suffering is the sacred furnace where weakness is burned away, where shallow faith deepens, and where temporary comfort gives way to lasting character. It is through pain that your heart learns endurance, through disappointment that your mind learns discipline, and through pressure that your purpose begins to unfold. Suffering is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to develop you. It takes everything fragile and turns it into something unbreakable. It transforms wounds into wisdom and pressure into power. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful has walked through a season of suffering. It is not optional, it is essential. You can't discover the strength of your faith until it's tested. You can't know the depth of your courage until fear challenges it. And you can't appreciate peace until you've survived chaos. Suffering is the bridge that takes you from who you were to who you must become. It purifies motives, clears distractions, and teaches you what truly matters. It burns away the desire to please others and replaces it with the determination to fulfill your purpose. When you suffer, you begin to see that comfort never created greatness. Ease never built endurance. True power only rises from struggle. When life hurts, when people betray you, when doors close, you are not being punished, you are being positioned. Pain has a way of forcing your focus. It silences the noise and narrows your vision. It teaches you to depend on what cannot be shaken. In those moments of suffering, when everything feels uncertain, you are being refined for something greater. The things that used to break you start to build you. The battles that once defeated you start to define you. That's the paradox of suffering. It takes you apart only to put you back together stronger, wiser, and more disciplined. Through suffering, the spirit gains a kind of strength that cannot be taught in comfort. You learn patience, humility, and perseverance. You start to value growth over gratification and purpose over pleasure. The same fire that burns also purifies, and the same pain that wounds also awakens. You begin to realize that every hardship carries a hidden blessing, every struggle carries a seed of strength, and every loss prepares you for a greater gain. Suffering strips away illusions and exposes truth. It reminds you that your power doesn't come from your circumstances, it comes from within. And when the process is complete, you emerge with a purified spirit, a focused mind, and a heart strong enough to carry the weight of your destiny. Growth only happens outside of comfort and convenience. Nothing extraordinary is ever born in a place of ease. Comfort is the enemy of progress because it keeps you satisfied with less than you are capable of becoming. It's in the uncomfortable moments, the uncertain seasons, and the painful challenges that true growth begins to take shape. When life stretches you, it's not to punish you, it's to prepare you. Growth requires pressure, and pressure requires discomfort. You can't evolve if you refuse to be stretched. You can't rise to new levels while clinging to what feels safe. The path to becoming who you are meant to be will always lead you through situations that test your patience, your strength, and your faith. That's where expansion happens. That's where character is built. Comfort gives you rest, but challenge gives you revelation. It reveals what's hidden inside you, what you're truly capable of when there's no easy way out. The truth is, we all say we want to grow, but few are willing to endure the process. Growth doesn't come wrapped in pleasure, it comes wrapped in struggle. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep, staying disciplined when distractions call your name, choosing faith when doubt feels easier. It's doing the hard thing even when no one is watching. Each time you choose discomfort for the sake of development, you take another step toward your potential. Every uncomfortable situation is an opportunity disguised as pain. It's life's way of asking, how badly do you want this? When you refuse to step outside your comfort zone, you imprison your potential. You stop learning, you stop discovering, and you stop expanding. Growth begins when fear meets action, when you decide that where you are is not enough for where you're going. It takes courage to leave the familiar, to walk into uncertainty, to trust that what's on the other side of discomfort is worth the journey. The very situations that make you uncomfortable are often the ones that carry your next level of breakthrough. The job that challenges you, the discipline that feels impossible, the goals that seem out of reach, these are not barriers, they are builders. They are designed to strengthen your resolve and shape your capacity to handle more. Every person who has achieved greatness has learned to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. They understand that convenience kills creativity, that ease dulls ambition, and that comfort blinds vision. When you push past what's easy, you access new dimensions of power. You find abilities you didn't know you had, patience you didn't think was possible, and strength you never believed existed. Growth doesn't come from staying where it's safe, it comes from daring to step where faith leads. The resistance you feel is not there to stop you but to shape you. It's the divine process of stretching your limits so you can grow into your potential, one challenge, one step, one uncomfortable choice at a time. Pain is not the enemy, it is the instructor of destiny. Every great life is shaped by lessons learned in pain. It is through hurt that we learn humility, through loss that we learn gratitude, and through struggle that we learn endurance. Pain teaches what comfort never can. It strips away illusions and exposes the truth about who we are, what we believe, and what we're willing to fight for. When everything is easy, you don't grow. When everything works out, you don't question your limits. But when pain enters, it demands your attention. It calls you to reflect, to adjust, to evolve. It shows you what's weak so that it can be made strong, what's false so that it can be made real. Pain doesn't come to destroy, it comes to educate. It is a messenger that delivers wisdom wrapped in discomfort. Every scar carries a story, and every wound carries a lesson. The people who have walked through the deepest pain often carry the greatest wisdom because they have learned to listen to what pain was teaching instead of running from it. Pain is not your punishment, it's your preparation. It molds you into someone capable of carrying purpose without arrogance, power without pride, and success without losing your soul. It teaches empathy because once you've suffered, you understand the struggle of others. It teaches resilience because once you've fallen, you know how to rise again. Pain gives birth to strength that cannot be taught in peace. Most people spend their lives avoiding pain, but avoiding pain is avoiding growth. The person who refuses to feel discomfort refuses to evolve. Every time you face pain and decide to endure it, you become wiser, stronger, and more grounded. Pain is the training ground for greatness. It stretches your spirit and disciplines your mind. It teaches patience when you can't control the outcome and faith when you can't see the end. Through pain, you learn to depend on something deeper than your emotions. You begin to live from conviction, not comfort. You begin to understand that pain is not an obstacle, it's a pathway. When you start to see pain as a teacher, your perspective changes. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" Every disappointment becomes a classroom, every heartbreak becomes a lesson, and every setback becomes a signal that something inside you needs to grow. The greatest shifts in life often come after the hardest seasons of pain. It clears your vision, sharpens your priorities, and redefines your values. Pain teaches you to let go of what no longer serves you and to embrace what will take you higher. It refines your purpose, renews your strength, and redirects your path. When you understand its purpose, pain stops being an enemy and becomes a trusted instructor guiding you toward the destiny you were designed to fulfill. Isolation separates the committed from the comfortable. It is in the quiet space away from the crowd where the difference between the two becomes clear. When the lights fade and the applause stops, those who are merely interested disappear, but those who are truly committed remain. Isolation has a way of revealing motives. It tests whether you are doing something for attention or for purpose. When no one is watching, when no one claps for your effort, and when progress feels invisible, your true level of commitment is exposed. That is where character is built. The comfortable crave company because they need validation, but the committed crave solitude because they seek transformation. Isolation is not punishment, it is separation for refinement. It removes the noise so you can hear clearly. It cuts off the distractions that dilute your focus and forces you to depend on your inner strength. Many people fear isolation because it feels like loss, but in truth, it's a divine filter. It separates you from what cannot go where you're going. Everyone cannot walk with you into your destiny. Some connections are seasonal, and isolation is how life teaches you to let go. It detaches you from dependency on people so you can learn dependency on purpose. In the silence, you begin to see who you are without the opinions of others. You realize that your strength is not found in crowds but in conviction. The committed understand that solitude is sacred because it's in those unseen moments that transformation happens. They are not afraid of being alone because they know that destiny is often developed in obscurity. Isolation teaches patience. When you are alone, you have no choice but to wait, to trust, and to work in faith. The comfortable want quick results, but the committed are willing to endure the process. They know that great things take time. Seeds grow underground before they ever rise to the surface, and so do people of purpose. Isolation is that underground season where roots go deep before fruit appears. It's the time when your focus is refined, your resilience is strengthened, and your vision becomes unshakable. What looks like separation to others is actually preparation for you. The comfortable need comfort to continue, but the committed keep going even when comfort disappears. They are driven not by feelings but by focus. They understand that loneliness is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of formation. It's where distractions fall away and purpose becomes clear. The comfortable avoid isolation because they fear silence, but the committed embrace it because they understand its power. In that sacred space of solitude, they find clarity, strategy, and strength. They come out of it with direction and discipline. Isolation draws a line between those who want success and those who are willing to become the kind of person success requires. It separates those who talk about change from those who endure the silence necessary to create it. Every trial prepares you silently for a public victory. The challenges you face in private are not wasted moments, they are the unseen rehearsals for the greatness that will one day be revealed. Life often hides preparation inside of pain. When you are struggling, when you feel overlooked, when you're working hard and no one seems to notice, that's when the foundation of your future success is being built. The greatest victories are never won in front of crowds but in the secret battles fought behind closed doors. The lessons learned in those private struggles give you the strength, wisdom, and endurance to stand firm when the spotlight finally shines. Every trial is a teacher, every obstacle is a mentor, and every setback is a silent builder of resilience. The process might be quiet, but its results will speak loudly. When you are in the middle of a trial, it rarely feels like preparation. It feels like delay, disappointment, or defeat. But what you don't see is that every difficulty is developing something within you that success will later demand. It builds your patience, disciplines your emotions, and sharpens your perspective. The very situations that break others are shaping you into someone unbreakable. Your pain is producing the power you'll need for the next level. Those seasons when no one applauds your effort, when no one recognizes your work, are sacred. They are where your endurance is tested, where your faith is stretched, and where your character is solidified. What feels like hiding is actually divine training for what's ahead. Public victories are always the reflection of private preparation. No one sees the hours you spent refining your craft, the nights you wrestled with self-doubt, the days you chose persistence over quitting. But those choices, made in silence, determine the strength of your destiny. Every person who rises to greatness has walked through hidden seasons of trial. They've faced betrayal, rejection, or loss, and instead of breaking, they allowed those trials to shape them. That shaping process is what makes the victory meaningful. Without the struggle, success would have no substance. The reward means more because of what it cost to achieve it. You may not see the purpose in your current trial, but one day you will look back and realize it was necessary. Every challenge is equipping you with tools you'll need later: wisdom, patience, compassion, and endurance. The silence of your struggle is not the absence of progress, it's the preparation of purpose. You are being molded to handle greater responsibility, to carry bigger blessings, and to stand taller in storms. The people who win in public are the ones who refuse to quit in private. They used their pain as practice, their waiting as training, and their failure as feedback. Every trial is a seed of triumph, and though it grows in silence, its harvest will one day be seen by all.